Black and white LAPD. Did a flyby as I exited this Home Depot here. It's one of their favorite tactics. Black helicopter. Passes over, then circles around. And they've been doing to me lately what I commented on last time as I was entering that Trader Joe's in the Commons. More recently, they've been doing as I enter into an establishment buzz. They got me this morning with the post office, and then just now, as you saw.
They own this world inside of their net. We're in a lockdown. It's a force field. This is the first time I got what they do. We're going to keep these humans as slaves, and when we get tired of them, we're going to hang them and eat them. That was the first time I really got it, what this eating. This wasn't just about energy or sucking energy. This was about literally chopping them to pieces and eating them.
Okay, got a helicopter in the middle of the lane on Tampa and Ventura. Got his flashing light. Let's see if we can get him focus here. Got a flashing light there. Let's see if we can get him in here. It's almost like he's hovering there. Okay, so I pull into this art store, and this black and white Los Angeles Police Department helicopter flies right overhead, right as I'm coming into this art store over here. This one right here. So that guy just flies right overhead as a welcome in buzz for going into an establishment, for uploading reptilian shapeshifter movies and exposing the serpents that live among us, same ones from the Garden of Eden that had Eve eat from the wrong tree and cause major calamities. Same ones, serpents, reptilians, bipedal, lizard men.
Not familiar enough with.
But you do know that reptilians and Draco, the blood sacrifices, the whole Luciferian thing, the kids being killed and eaten. I mean, that humans have been eaten and taken off planet, et cetera, and used for slaves in other colonies, etc.
I hate to say that, but that's far worse than what you've just said.
It's far worse.
Yes, far worse.
Far
Okay, so as I suspected, he's making his way over here, doing a little hovering around, waiting for the opportunity, like hopefully I got my hands full or I'm eating or something else. See, there he is right there. Is you'll have some homeless, completely nut person like intersect me, so that's who I walk next to. It's really weird. It's like it keeps happening over and over again, to where it's like and then when they see me try to avoid them, then they'll walk around, and then get in my path again. And the other day, as I recorded on my camera here, this one homeless guy, like he was on the path to get into where he was going to be walking with me, okay? And then, so I tried to get out of his way, and I circled around, and he kept following, and then finally, he kept following me, and then I didn't want to go back to my car because I didn't want him to see where my car was, but he did find out where my car was because he waited for me, and he kept following around, and then he walked by I got in the car, and then he walked right by the car, and he was following around the parking lot. This was going on for like a good 15 minutes, you know, and so it's really weird how this it's a means of attack using homeless, demonically driven, crazy people. Well, guys, just think. I used to walk these streets as a man with a home. And now I'm a man with no home. A 51-year-old man with no home, no job or career to speak of, no money, no prospects. My angel flew away, and now I'm old and look and feel like shit. So there you go. Evicted. Now that I have an eviction on my record, it's probably going to be there forever. And not only that, my credit also took a hit because I didn't pay the DWP bill. Still owe them over $1,000. Gas $400. Time Warner cable $300. AT&T cable $300. So yeah, and YouTube is playing me these ads saying, "Do you have bad credit? You can get anything for $40." Blah, blah, blah. Like they know I've got bad credit now. And I would clarify that actually no blame goes to my angel who magnificently helped me out. The fault is completely mine that it ended up this way. Because I had good credit before, even though I've been poor all this time. My credit was good beyond the bankruptcy that I had filed way back when, which it had expired, so it wasn't on my record. I actually had pretty good credit, but now it's like probably in the 400s, if that. It was like 650 at least, or if not 7 something. But now it's tanked, and I know that probably I couldn't get a loan like a housing loan, and I don't know if I could rent. Like maybe someplace would take me due to the fact that, you know, there was the pandemic situation and I didn't have to move out, but I did because I knew this prick was going to keep harassing me, you know, keep sending me notices and, you know, people to my door and stuff like that, you know, just keep keeping up with this guy that he hired, and I didn't want to deal with that, you know. And not only that, but I mean, I hadn't paid rent for 10 months, and the emergency of the COVID thing turned out to not be as big of an emergency as they were making out. I mean, in the beginning, they're like, they're running out of oxygen machines. People are suffocating, you know? Oh shit! And just think about that. What happened to all the oxygen machines, all the intubator machines? You know, where they're all in a trash. I hear that somebody found them in a dumpster or something like that. You know, like they're dumping them out because they have just too many, or maybe they put, I don't know what they do. But I mean, so at that point, the emergency was kind of like, well, it's over, and I'm totally overstaying. And like I said, guys, it was totally my mistake. Right when I ran out of money, I should have said, okay, this is a debt trap, another satanic debt trap, just because there's a big pandemic and there's people coughing up blood and dying in the streets or something like that, because that's kind of what it sounded like. You know, I'm not saying that what was happening, but that's kind of what it seemed like. So it was my fault, man. I totally blew it, and really dropped the ball that time, man. And now, guys, my credit record reflects the kind of person I am, which is irresponsible. I do have a little bit of leeway on that to not feel like a total piece of corrupt scum crap that, you know, stole and didn't pay their debt and then bailed. because of the pandemic. I mean, you know, what are you going to do? You're in a place, there's a pandemic on, you know, people are scared shitless. The order here in California and everywhere, but I mean, especially here in California and from the government was, you know, don't go running out into the streets, stay at home, and there's a moratorium on evictions. What are you going to do? Okay, so there's at least that, you know, excuse. So that is, you know, it doesn't look like total shit, but now I have an eviction on my record, and my credit is poor because at least 4 different entities, the power and the internet cable providers, all filed that, you know, obviously that I didn't pay my bill, and it goes on your record. And now for all of eternity in history, for the rest of my life, for the whatever 49 years I've got left, if I live to 100, my credit will suck. And they will look at my credit whenever I apply for a place or a loan or anything like that and go, oh, see, this is the kind of scumbag we don't want. And that, friends, accurately reflects the person Richard Bruce is. So just so there isn't any mistake about it, because it's my irresponsibility. I should have realized right then. I shouldn't have let that. This guy talked me into it, you know. Like, I mean, maybe I would have decided on my own, because I was getting ready to move, and then I talked to this guy who's a local here, and basically a prick. But in any case, I mean, I was talking to him, and he was saying, you know, I was saying, yeah, you know, we just ran out of money, and the pandemic hit and everything, and he says, hey, you know, you don't have to move out because right now there's a moratorium on evictions. I said, oh yeah, okay. And I thought about it. Wait a minute, you know, why are you running on the street? And then, you know, the news, you know, you kept watching the news like, holy shit, you know, oh my God, everybody's dying from the pandemic, and it's like, you know, we didn't know how bad it was going to be. At first, I was terrified. A lot of people were, you know, we didn't know what's going to happen, and so I like, well, okay, I'll stay, and then like. Right the second month, they started threatening me, telling me I had to move out right away. The guy who was the manager was a total prick about it. I mean, if he had been cool and said, look, you know, I'm sorry, but you can't pay me, you know, if he had been cool, that might have been different. You know, if the owner had said to me, look, I need every dime of that to survive. I'd appreciate it if you could move out if you can't pay. I would have moved out. Chances are I would have, just because the guy was, you know, talking to me like a frickin' human being. And I'm saying the guy has to kiss my ass for me to do the right thing. I mean, that's no excuse, but honestly, if the guy had said to me, look, could you please move, I would have. Just as a matter of honor, I would say, okay, you know, because I mean, I do have you know, an alternative, you know, little RV that I can dwell in, and you know, but I mean, right in the height of the scare, I might have said, well, wait a minute, let's wait a little bit, but on the other hand, I might have, right when he said that, just said, okay, because I'm just, you know, to me that's a matter of honor. But he, you know, his manager was a prick about it. He didn't do anything about it. All he said, and then, you know, so I you know, and he tried to intimidate me like 3 or 4 times, showing up with a 3-day eviction notice and everything. He could have just asked me, you know, but he wanted to be a prick about it. So I said, fuck you, and I stayed in there. But I shouldn't have done that. I should have bailed. I should have, right when the money ran out, I should have said, see, here is an excuse to get him done. Sure enough, now I owe this guy $20,000, which I'll probably never pay back. If I have the money, I would, but you know me, 20 grand. Come on, where am I even begin to pay that? And I don't think he's expecting to get it back, so I'm not too worried about paying it back. He's an individual. I don't think he's going to sue me unless he finds out I'm, you know, get a lot of money. Hey, keep watching my channel, Mr. Bippin. Maybe I will. Have some money, and then you can say, hey, God damn it, pay me back my 20 grand with interest. Okay, because I had 100 grand on the way, I told you, and they sent that, the NSA sent that super soldier to come and attack, and sure enough, my 100 grand burned up in the car, and but I would have paid him off with interest and then moved out if I had gotten that money, and get a new car and a new RV. I could have fit all that in, and paid him off, and got out of there. Or I may have just paid my rent at least, and not be a debt, just stay there. But yeah, it happened the way it happened, and now I'm a 51-year-old homeless loser with nothing. Nothing! And no man cared for my soul, and refuge failed me. Straight from the Bible, friends. Straight from the Bible to your computer screen. So I'm at the point in my homeless life where I'm starting to look like shit for continually coming into the corner bakery, not just the one in Calabasas all frickin' morning, looking like a homeless loser with nowhere to go, but the corner bakery in Woodland Hills, sitting there all day like I don't have a better place to go, and the employees from the corner bakery in Calabasas are commenting that they saw me sitting there in the Woodland Hills one, kind of saying, yeah, you know, that kind of looks like homeless shit. And I was like, yeah, it is homeless shit. Yeah, you know, that was the subtext of that conversation. But yeah, so anyway, that's the news here, I stopped talking with one of the angels. I think he made up some excuse like, you know, oh, there's something wrong with the connection, it's getting static on it, you know, but I think what it was is he didn't want to talk with me anymore. I don't blame him. He's got his angel stuff to do. He doesn't want to mess around with some stupid human. He was only doing that because kind of out of obligation to this other angel that I had been doing things with. So, yeah. But I am talking still with one of the creations of one of the angels. One of the main people that were created that I told you about. And get this. That angel is going to create another person. Yeah. And so it's pretty interesting. But in any case, I can't go into detail about it. But yeah. So all that stuff happened. And I got to feeling a little bit down this summer. I got some summertime blues. Kind of hoping that maybe something would come through, there'd be some change. But it looks like another year or 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 of same shit, different day. And to be honest, I'm getting a little tired of it, you know. And I was expressing some frustration to God, and my prayer life took a definite hit. Because to be honest with you, friends, I don't buy it. The Lord's hidden his face from me, and I think literally I don't have a prayer. There's a cloud that's gone over God, so he doesn't hear my prayer. I don't want to discourage anybody else from praying by telling you that. I'm just letting you know what happened to me. I hit a lull in my faith. Not that I stopped believing or anything like that. It's just I hit a feeling of, you might say it's a rebellious clog in my flow of faith, and I felt like, you know, and I've always felt this way, like right from the beginning when I was started to be a Christian in 1990. I never like found my prayer voice. It always sounded like the first thing that came to me was basically there's really no need to say too much in prayer. Whereas other people, they really advocate prayer life, and I'm not saying that these people are wrong or that they're doing anything wrong. No, they tell me I'm doing something wrong, and I can't argue against it because the scripture says pray without ceasing. But I never felt it. I never, and I saw some people that I prayed with, and I could really hear them being into it. Oh, there's some music here, but wait for a bit. Yeah, but don't be too surprised if that happens to you. It's happened to me like quite a few times. Not a whole lot, but I'd say at least 10, 20 times. I don't know how many times. It's been like, I'm so old now, I can't remember. But, you know, in case you didn't know, when you get old, because a lot of people just, you know, they don't seem to realize this. When you get old, you start to look like shit, and you start to feel like shit. It's not that the reptilian butt rays are getting you. It's that you're getting old. It's age. So as you age, you get, you know, your skin wrinkles up, dries out, your brain wrinkles up and dries out. You know, you start going downhill, and you get more diseases, you get weaker, you get dumber, you get slower. You know, you go downhill with age. So, you know, just don't be too surprised if I'm coming on here, you know, and looking pretty nasty after a while, especially living out here like this. It wears, you age twice as fast because you're a lot more tired. You have to run around when you're homeless. There's a lot you have to do just to run around, just to survive. And then you don't sleep as well, and there's a lot more stress too. There's daily stress, you know, from like the problem of coming back to your home and finding everything gone or broken or stolen or something. Whereas you don't have that stress at all when you live indoors. And it's amazing how much better you feel with an indoor place, man. If you've never been homeless for an extended period of time without a choice, I'm not talking about traveling around, you know, hanging out in your RV, having fun, traveling around, or you know, like a minivan or whatever. I'm talking about like an extended time being homeless without a choice, with everything you own. There's nothing you can do, no matter where you turn, no matter what you think, no matter what you do. You're screwed. You're in that situation. A lot of people, probably most of the people watching this, will never have any idea what that really means. But for those of you who have experienced that, you know what I'm talking about. You're stressing out about, you know, you could lose everything, you know, very easily. You know, all it takes is for one or more of your vehicles, or usually you just have one. That's why I like having two. It's worth it to pay the insurance, by the way. And also, if you live here in LA, I discovered something. I could have been saving a lot of money on insurance on the RV if I had gotten that RV insurance on a separate carrier. Because what happens is, apparently, if you don't have hardly any miles on your RV, because you don't drive it that much, they charge you a lot less, something like $250, $300. Yeah, a year for my RV with Progressive, and that's a savings of about like I was paying $800 something for before. Oh no, not that much. Maybe 500. Anyway, a lot more. And so, just letting you know. But yeah, and also I was thinking about talking about how one of the issues that we have as TIs or as Christians is we have to wonder what, you know, when something goes wrong, how much of it is an attack from the devil and how much might be a reproof from the Lord. And sometimes I think it's a mix. It's a confusing mix of the two. See, look, this dude's kicking. He's got a cool little thing, a little TV there or something. Kicking back. Yeah, it's worth it to have two vehicles, because if you lose one, if you only have one and you lose that one, and there's nobody you can count on, and no place to store your shit, you have no place to store your stuff. You're screwed. You know, they'll tow it away pretty quick, and you'll lose everything, and you'll just be backpack and shopping cart or whatever you could possibly scrabble together. I would probably get, like, if that happened to me, I would get like one of those wagons. And that way you could at least tow along some stuff. But I mean, you're screwed, man. No way to keep all your stuff dry when it rains. Nowhere to go. You know, it's very hard to find a place that's cool to, you know, sleep, and that's a whole different ball game. And I've never experienced that, but anything's possible. I don't have any career or any money or anything, you know, so my ass has been hanging out on the edge with that, you know, possible at any time. And that's always kind of a fear, because, you know, I think, like, a lot of times when you see these people who are mentally biffed, it might be because they had started out as being, you know, competent and having it halfway there together, but then after being homeless for a while, they just went nutsola and lost it. So that could happen. I don't know. Maybe it's you know, those people that are crazy, they were crazy before that. But I think some people are driven crazy by this. But a lot of reasons, of course, why they're homeless in the first place is because they're mentally messed up. And that's, of course, you know, what I experience on a daily basis. I got people, you know, crossing the street to avoid me, because who knows what effed up kind of person I am to be living the way I'm living. You know, the people that live all in the apartment. I parked right next to an apartment. Like before, there was like a whole parking lot, a sidewalk, and then a large parking lot, and a ways before, like, you know, it wasn't like right parked in front of somebody's face. But this, I had an advantage because my RV was parked there for a long time, the whole time that I was living at the Warner Center condo over here, and I was just parking it there to store it there because there was some issues parking it over here, and so it was there. And then when I got evicted and started living in November 25th of 2020, then it kind of wasn't, it wasn't, kind of a big shocker and a big, oh my God, a homeless guy living right there, But of course, over time, people saw, and now they all know, because they can hear me too at night sometimes, I belch, oh, sorry neighbors. But in any case, that's life of the homeless Christian man. And I'm not going to say I'm not complaining. Of course I'm complaining. I'm complaining all the time about everything. But I'm not one of these people. Not my Anna. My Anna was like one of these. She's like, I guess maybe the Jewish Russian upbringing. You complain about nothing. That's why I used to joke with her. I said, "Russia woman tell you nothing." Well, guys, I sure gotta tell you, I have a real positive impression of Russian women after my angel love who passed away. But while I was with her, while she was with me in the world, she was a really supportive, nice person, and very different from the people in my family. I mean, just unbelievable night and day difference. I mean, and women in America in general, and especially in Los Angeles. I can always tell when it's a foreign chick, even if visually she doesn't look any different, blonde with skin-tight pants and everything. But I can always tell when they're from Europe, because they'll actually look you in the eye without a stare. I guess maybe that's just me. But that gets that, I'm sure if I was like a big, hunky, chunky, handsome dude, she'd be like, oh, I love you, or whatever, whatever stud, handsome, big muscle dudes get reaction, however, whatever reaction they get like that. So, yeah. Well, in any case, I just have to be me, Skinny Man Jack, homeless, old, big nose, and an asshole besides, with deep emotional F-ups, as I was just commenting to a nice creation of one of the angels last night, in a conversation where all that happened was that she disagreed with me on something, not a big deal, and I wasn't even that upset, but I was upset in my heart, and the only reason I was upset was because someone had a different opinion than me, which is totally ridiculous. Humans have different opinions on everything. And I couldn't be a man that they just, okay, you just have a different opinion. No big deal. No, that isn't what I got. What I got is a deep upset in my heart, and I didn't express it. I was cool, but she could feel it. She could feel it. She goes, oh, I don't know what I said to offend you, but I said, no, you didn't offend me, just, and then I emailed her later. I said, I'm sorry, it was me. I just get upset when somebody has a slightly different opinion from me. Yeah, that's what I got. See, so that's why I got to get the all glorious within, the Psalm 45 thing. I mean, that's why I keep talking about this, because my personality is so big, it's sore, that I dream of the all glorious within. Please give me the all glorious within. If you're watching this, it's not too late. Say this prayer now. Father in heaven, please save my soul by the work of your Son Jesus on the cross, and show me your pure words in the authorized King James Bible.